Jeez, oh, and
I thought your
we're
verse
live.
was
Oh,
ass
God.
cheeks.
One
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Hey,
1-1,
what
take it
better
back.
way to go
1-1,
live
take
than
it
saying I thought his verse was ass cheeks?
For real.
back. Dude,
What
for
up,
real.
though,
Real
everybody? We got people rolling in. What's going on? Welcome to the courthouse. We here. We live. The courthouse is happening. I told you it would come back, man. Listen, the courthouse, you know what it is. Each and every week, we're going to be talking all things basketball. And the beauty of the courthouse is it's open forum, baby. So if you want to come scream at us, if you got some takes, come bring them, baby. I'm posting the link in the comments right now. But first, we got to start with our two guys because court is in session.
I'm scared. Oh,
First
what?
of all, we got Habib's long lost brother, Easy, my guy in the bottom left corner, my man, and also
Smish.
we got Kung Fu Spenny Rex in the bottom right corner. Spencer, what's going on, brother? Dude, first time Spencer's been on the From Half Court channel, man. It's about damn time.
Yeah, you guys have been ducking me for a while, so
That's what it's been. I've been
finally decided to come in here and say what's what. No, I appreciate you guys having me on, though.
Oh, dude, always, man, 100%. Super glad to make it happen, and it was kind of perfect timing because we were planning on doing this already this week, and then the Pistons decided to make their first major move of the offseason today, so it worked out pretty well. So
I mean, I don't know if the move worked out pretty well, but
the timing worked out pretty well, that's for sure.
I mean, all right, let's get into it. So, all right, like you brought it up right away, Easy. We got the Jerami Grant trade that everyone wants to talk about. Troy Weaver. The Detroit Pistons have traded forward Jerami Grant to the Portland Trailblazers in exchange for a 2025 first-round pick from Milwaukee. In addition, they will be swapping the 46th and 36th pick in this year's draft as well. The Pistons, after making this move, will now have $43 million in cap space. And I've seen that we could also have as much as $56 million in cap space this summer if we were to cut ties with all of our free agents as well. So I want to start with this. We already got someone coming in. We got Rise coming in. First of all, Rise, what's going on, man? How you doing? Welcome to the courthouse. I want to start with two of our guests. Spencer, since this is your first time, man, I want to get your thoughts. What did you think of the Jerami Grant trade?
Be easy with me. This is my first time, no, but I don't know, man. Trading Jerami Grant for a second grader, I don't know how I really feel about it. It might turn into something. Obviously, this is a move for the future. Obviously, this is something to where he's trying to clear cap space because we could have gotten a better return for Jerami Grant if we would have took on somebody else, somebody that commands some salary. Maybe we take somebody from the Trailblazers that they didn't want. That's kind of dead salary on their books. So without doing that, this is the kind of return we got. Obviously, as an entire fan base, we overvalued what Jerami Grant was going to give us. We overvalued what the return for Jerami is. Pistons fans overvaluing their players, like that never happens. But
literally, like in the same breath, watching people talk about how they think he's garbage at basketball all season, and then going, "Yeah, we'll get 2 first-round picks for Jerami."
Yeah. Oh, this guy's so trash. Nobody ever wants him. But we'll get the number 7 pick and an all-star player for him. No big deal. But I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. What can you think of it? We got a 12-year-old that we traded for, so we got to worry about that going forward. But
yeah, we gotta make sure they get their braces first before they come into the Pistons.
I believe in this guy, so hopefully he can do something, make some moves. But I'm not gonna lie, it scared me at first. When I saw Portland, I was like, and then it said 2025. I was like, God damn, man, what? But it is what it is, man. What are we gonna do now?
Milwaukee, like motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm gonna go break Giannis's leg so we make sure that pick's something good.
Oh my gosh. Rise, before I get your thoughts, I do want to go to Easy real quick since he's one of our guests as well. Easy, my man. What are your thoughts on the Jerami Grant trade? Because you were just on a space for about an hour popping off, and I know your initial reaction is not that you're loving it.
Yeah, I'm not loving it, but ultimately, like, you gotta look at like the history of Troy and why we've had faith in him, confidence in him, to begin with, and it's because this type of trade is very uncharacteristic by him. You know what I'm saying? So like, I have faith that this is just like a piece of something bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm truly confident, and I got to thinking, couple things, if I may, it may take a little bit of time here, but you guys got like 30 minutes, right? No, I'm joking, but I think
Please no.
I think Utah might be looking to slice off some players there. I think obviously Mitch and Rudy Gobert, they've had their beef in the past, and maybe they're just kind of, looking to knock that one down. They didn't do too hot. They haven't been doing too hot in the playoffs. I'm thinking out loud here, fellas. All right,
No Rudy
I
Gobert.
think
I will off
no Rudy
myself.
Gobert for
Rudy
sure.
Gobert
No Rudy
comes to the
Gobert, but we
Pistons.
do want a big man. But outside of that, the Clippers, I think that's another that's another project that obviously they want to try out there. PG-13, Kawhi Leonard, Kawhi hasn't stay healthy. PG-13, kind of same issue, not always healthy, but hasn't performed consistently either when he was healthy. That might be something they're looking to tear down there. Brooklyn, obviously you hear the rumors about Kyrie going to LA. KD to the D, 2023. I'm just saying, you heard it here first. I sound crazy. I know I sound crazy. But KD is a fan of Cade Cunningham, okay? They work out all the
So is
time
a
in the
lot of
summer.
people.
Like,
So are a lot of people, man. That don't mean they're coming to Detroit.
all right. But
I love it though. I love the enthusiasm.
Come on,
Hey, I want it to happen more than anybody. I've been repping Kevin Durant since 2007, man.
Oh yeah. I'm copping a jersey for sure.
But the most realistic one that I could actually formulate some shit that actually makes sense. Can I swear on here, Your Honor?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
We already have multiple times, so.
Oh shit, my bad.
We don't give up.
Obviously, Troy Weaver, a member of that the Oklahoma State Thunder organization at one point, probably close relationship with Sam Presti, who loves first round picks. He doesn't even use them. He just likes collecting them. They're like rings. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He's weird about it. But now we have a plethora of those. I can realistically see, because everyone's talking about the cap space. Look at this free agent class. Cap space on what? What are we going to spend that money on? It's nothing
Bruce
there.
Brown, max contract.
You know what I'm saying? It's nothing there.
Hooks.
Let's be real. So I think he's grabbing the picks to trade to his boy Sam Presti to move the 2 and to grab either Jabari or Paolo.
Yeah, I mean, I would certainly love if that's the case. I mean, listen, man, that's certainly a heck of a case. We got our boy Rise coming in. But Jeff, I want to get your thoughts in a second. But Rise, first of all, what's going on, man? Thanks for hopping in the stream. Rise, give me your thoughts, man. What are your thoughts on the Jerami Grant trade?
Yeah, man. I was in here earlier. I had to hop off on call, but
good, man.
Yeah. I'm doing good. I'm pretty even keeled on it. I had weighed my expectations for the return of the so horrible, trash Jerami Grant. That fans always speak of over the season. Like they really can sell a product, they really can. I think that the picks, I feel like with Troy Weaver, he really liked Jerami Grant, right? That relationship was really mutual. And with that being said, I honestly think they wouldn't let him go if like a few second rounders and a first round pick, almost half a decade from now, is the return, if he didn't have something else.
Yeah.
Feel that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I was just making some quite shocked faces because I was looking over here and I saw this report that apparently the Blazers want to take that number 7 overall pick we've been attaching to Jerami for so long, and they could potentially try to go get OG Anunoby with it. So for those of us that have been talking about Jerami Grant being the value for that number 7 overall pick, they could potentially go get someone even better with it. So that's why I was sitting here and I was like, I had that face coming on. But before we get Bravo to hop in, because first of all, Bravo Mo, welcome, man. Bravo's one of the OGs, man. So welcome.
He is.
I'm glad you're
What's
here.
going on,
Jeff,
everybody?
Jeff, my court security, my security officer in this courthouse who will keep order in the courthouse.
Dude,
what do
I'm
you
not doing
think?
nothing to the heavyweights. All right,
I was about to say, what are you gonna do?
right, but I'll start.
Jeff.
What? All right, okay. I will say this: the one word I'll use to describe this is flexibility. That's kind of what I took out of it. If you look at the trade itself, I can get why people would be upset because even me, I expected like the 7th pick. I expected that, but I look at it like it's kind of an incomplete. Like if I had to give it a grade, I can't give it a grade right now because you have to see what he does with the cap space. You have to see what he does with the assets, whether he wants to trade up or just stay put, whatever the case may be. You know how Troy operates. He's going to make some deals. So I'm pretty positive about it. I just respect Jeremy as a player. I figured he'd be worth more. Like if you're going to pursue OG, like dude, Jerami Grant's a walking bucket. Like and he's a veteran, and I get it. Maybe teams think that on Detroit his stats were inflated. Who knows? But I will say this: I'm good with the trade.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Bravo. Welcome, my man, to From Half Court. Thank you for being here. Bravo.
OG.
I want you to know, my friend. What are your thoughts? Because you are someone that obviously you're a pretty dedicated Pistons fan, pretty dedicated Detroit fan. You're in Everything Kings channel all the time. You're here quite often. My guy, Bravo. How are we feeling right now?
Disappointed. I can't really say anything but disappointed, definitely, because Jeff, I don't know how you say positive, man. It's just tough. Really, when you see our best, this is Jerami Grant. I'll be honest with you. He's our best player. He's better than Cade right now in terms of scoring. I'm not going to be overreact. So make Cade as the better player. Let me just take it back. Okay, Jerami Grant is our best veteran. You traded like that for just cheap. I don't understand why you can get a better return value for him. The thing is, we might have really passed on trading Jerami Grant last trade deadline. We could have got better return for him, maybe. So I think this is maybe the way.
Actually, James Edwards actually wrote about that, and one of the things that he did state in the article, because he did address the return, and it says, and I quote, "Now on the return, it was widely expected and rumored that Grant would bring back at minimum a lottery level pick in a deal. That didn't happen here. Per sources, this deal is the best offer the Pistons have received on Grant, even dating back to February's trade deadline." So Jesus. I think some of that trade deadline value that a lot of us really, really thought, I'm going to be honest with you. I think we took some Twitter rumors from December and we ran with them like hell. I think we expected some form of peace with that at the very minimum from the Lakers of none and a first or some form of combination. But in my opinion, I just, it's one of those things where when you hear this is the best thing you could have gotten in return, obviously that sucks and it's a little disheartening, but I think you have to start looking a little bit in the bigger picture of where were we when we got Jerami day one versus where are we now when we traded him, right? Because I want to remind people 2 years ago, our top 3 young prospects were Luke Kennard, Bruce Brown, and Svi Mikhailuk, right? Those were our top 3. Svi was number 3. That's where we were at, right? Now we're in a situation where
the boys like coming with Jesus Christ, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, Sekou
chill on Svi.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess I didn't have him enough on my big board on the Pistons' best young prospects. He got snubbed there.
Cat out of the league right now.
But in all seriousness, it's one of those things where, first of all, obviously the big thing, this allows us to go pursue DeAndre Ayton if we want to, right? And all the reports suggest, even James reiterated in the article, we're going to pursue DeAndre Ayton, right? Yeah. So, but also, what is there a world? And I'm not saying this is happening. This is just me speculating, because we've also seen reports that the Hornets are feeling pretty hesitant with paying Miles Bridges, and the Pistons are one of the teams to throw out an offer sheet. Guys, what if? I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Is that double cup Miles or what?
Is there a world where we end up with both Bridges and Ayton?
Bring me back my boy Miles. I'll let you cheat off another test off of me, bro. I got you.
We get one of Bridges or Ayton. Does that make the trade worth it for you?
Yes.
I agree.
I think if anything's done with a member from Charlotte, though, it's probably that, offloading that contract from Gordon Hayward and maybe collect, what they have 13 and 15.
Yep,
Right?
13 and 15. Yep.
I could see that being a reality, and that gives Cade a shooter. If we're being real about it, like as much as like Gordon's not who he used to be, he could still knock down the 3-ball.
Well, I mean, even then, you're only taking on his salary for 2 years, so like it's one of those deals where like, his contract becomes more tradable next year because it's an expiring contract. So it's not like if you bring on Gordon Hayward that you're stuck with him forever. But like you said, the other thing, I mean, it's not like that'd be a bad contributing piece if we did add Ayton as well. I mean, a lineup. Let's say we end up with Jaden Ivey tomorrow night. You telling me you're upset with a Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham, Miles Bridges, Sadiq Bey,
Mitchell Robinson?
Yeah, exactly. Are you upset with that lineup? I'm not. So, I mean, listen, man, there's a lot of ways we can go.
No, I'm happy with it. And going back to Jerami Grant and like how, you said we overvalued that, and I think we did, obviously, as what he is, because he was brought here to prove that he could be that guy, to prove he could be the number one. And he went out there and he gave us, 20 to 25 a night, but that was on inefficient, not winning basketball. That was on, 5 dribble, back down, turnaround long twos. Like, you're not going to do that. You're not going to produce that and be a number one option or even a number 2 option on a winning team. So I see Portland. Obviously, the rest of the league saw that. They saw that Jerami Grant's role is to be a 3 or a 4, is to be that guy to go out there and play defense and hit 3 balls, to be the guy out there like an Andrew Wiggins on the Golden State Warriors who will go out there, he'll defend at a high level, he'll make some timely shots, he'll drive to the basket, finish with authority. So I think, obviously, that experiment didn't end well for him, but what we got in return, if, like you said, we can turn that into a Jaden Ivey, a Shaden Sharp, and Miles Bridges or DeAndre Ayton, I'll be extremely happy because I think that makes our team exponentially better than it was last year with Jerami Grant on it.
Without a doubt. And flexibility, again, a thing we haven't had in years. Like you talk about, like, Bravo. I understand that, like, it is frustrating when you lose a guy like that at that level. You got Ayton and Cade in the background there. Easy. I like it. Beautiful waistlines.
He's got their balls rubbing on his neck.
Oh my gosh. But does that extra cap space and does that wiggle room that the Pistons have to play with where they really could go multiple different routes? Does that at the very least give you, is that a silver lining or do you more so care about the talent that we have on the roster right now?
Go ahead, Jeff. You've been quiet, dog.
I was honestly hoping you'd answer that one first, but
I got you. Okay. No, I think there's a bunch of stuff we can go, man. Like, the more I think about it, I really truly think that we really might break into the top 3, and I don't know if it's necessarily going to be with the pick that we got today. Like, I think now I'm thinking through the Gordon Hayward stuff. That's a real possibility because we didn't grab that cap space to go, fishing for agency. There's no one to fish with. There's no big fish to grab, but there's 2 first-round picks you can grab right there, and maybe flip that into top 3 pick. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, though, I wanted to shout out Bravo real quick, man, because I started Bravo back in quarantine, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a mic back then. I want to shout out to Bravo, man. You've been my OG. And let me. I want to do this too. All right, DSA above the rim when we started, right? Bravo on live said Blake Griffin's gonna average what, like 12 points and like 4 rebounds or something like that. And we were laughing at him. Matter of fact, I think we kicked him out the stream, bro. It happened. He's spoken to fruition. So I'm more curious thinking of Bravo. What do you think is gonna happen with this pick, man? With this trade?
It's very good scenario. The thing is, I'm frustrated right now because as it stands right now, if we remain like that, nothing happens from now on. It's a bad trade. But I don't. There's a second part of the trade that we haven't seen yet. There's a second part I think it's coming up. Troy is preparing for something, I believe. So whether it's trading up in the draft, whether it's because if you think about it, the thing is what frustrated me. Why do you have to trade the day before the drafts? You could have waited on the draft night and get the last minute call trade instead of doing that. So you can have a more chance of getting something better. But I guess if they found this is the best thing you can get, I think that the reason why I made this is the free cap space, obviously, and get another first pick, which is reasonable at this age of the well, at this stage of the not age stage. So that's what I was trying to say. So there's a second part of this we don't know. I do believe that they're going to use, because if you think about it, we're not going to really benefit from this 2025 first round pick from the Milwaukee Bucks unless the Bucks suck or unless the Bucks trade Giannis. So I think Troy is preparing to either trade this pick to trade up in the draft, or the other way is to use it in a sign and trade with DeAndre Ayton. They're going to chip it just in a package or something.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, the other thing too, I mean, this can go beyond the DeAndre Ayton trade. The other thing cap flexibility allows you to do is to make trades as well. You can add players more than just through free agency. It also opens up the space to go make deals as well, because you have that cap room to absorb contracts if need be. So I think, it is one of those things where, again, if you're viewing it solely in a vacuum, I think it's fair to at least question the value that we got in return. Because I think it's always fair to say, well, could we have gotten better? It sounds like the answer on that was no, right? And so if that's the case, then it's one of those things where I think we just have to acknowledge we put the value as a fan base too high on where he was going to be. Oh, Spencer, you a real mug. And you got Corey and then you put Tracy McGrady on me, dude.
Oh yeah, only legends, man. Gotta pull it out.
Only Pistons legends that we're showing in here. Oh my gosh. But listen, but I also think I think the thing with this trade is the odds of it being something where we really go back and go, man, we let Jerami walk away I just don't see that happening. I think Jeremy's a solid player, but I think he's in the apex of his career and what he's going to do right now. And I don't think we were going to get more value than this, even if we waited till the trade deadline. So I just think this was what we were going to get, and this is what we were going to get. I think there's sometimes that the value is just what it is.
What do you guys think the handoff is for Gordon Hayward? Like, what do we give them to make that deal for him? Do we give him the 2025 pick and like Kelly O or some shit like that, or like?
Well, they would. It would actually be that Charlotte might almost have to give us something on it, because really what Charlotte wants to do is move off of his money. So
yeah,
so more than likely
they're giving us one of those picks for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It might, yeah, because they could just give us a pick and free cap space, like we did right now. We freed cap space.
Yeah,
it will give us flexibility to absorb a contract or another player or like whoever. They want to get Rudy Gobert and get a couple of picks from the Utah Jazz, they could do it that way. I don't know what's the purpose of this, to be honest. There's a second part of it. It confuses me, and if there's there's no second part of it, it means I don't think it's a good trade. I don't know what you would do with the 2024 first round pick. What do you do with it? Because Cade is going to be 24. So I don't know, 25. What do you do with it? You have to assume they're doing another move after this.
Yeah, I think more moves are coming. I think we're gonna have a very active off season, and I wouldn't be surprised if we made a move tomorrow night. Like Easy brought up that like how Charlotte has 2 picks. I was good, and then Spencer went up and put Josh Smith behind his head.
Yeah, just some legendary free agent signings and trades that the Pistons have made for these veterans to bring in and just really, be a part of the team and bring it to a new level.
Hey,
no,
we
I'm
have
just
cap.
trolling.
Hey, the last time that was the last time we had cap space was when that man was on that team. So if that gives any perspective, that's the ghost of cap space past right there, dog.
Yeah, best 3-point shooter in the NBA. Dude was a legit weapon.
Dude, whoever signed him must have been like the greatest GM of all time. I'm just saying.
Fantastic GM,
yeah, unquestionably, like did wonders.
But yeah, with the cap space we have, like you said, Sean, that gives us more flexibility in these trades that we're willing to make. And I talked about it in spaces, like there's different routes, because everybody knows, obviously, no matter if you have Cade Cunningham, if you have these guys, it's going to be hard to get a top tier, one of those blue chip free agents to sign with the Pistons and come to Detroit. No matter how much we love the city, we see it's getting better, everything like that, it's still going to have that stigma on it. So there are different routes you can go. There is like the Bucks route where you have Cade Cunningham turns into a top 3 player in the NBA. He turns into your Giannis. He turns into your MVP candidate, and you surround him with number 3s. Maybe not a Robin to his Batman, but you surround him with a Chris Middleton, with a Drew Holiday, these guys that complement him well and would be 3s on a championship team. But because you have a guy like Cade that elevates their game, you can get away with it. Or you go the Raptors route where you build this team, you build the draft, you get all these pieces, you get these bodies, and then when you're ready to go, when you're solidified, Eastern Conference contender, you trade for a superstar. You trade for a guy like a Kawhi Leonard that will put you over that gap, that will make you a perennial, will make you push for that championship. So this is what it happens. This is Troy's pulling out the parchment and he's starting the map, because really our rebuild started last year getting Cade Cunningham, and now it's what you want to build around him and what track you want to follow to get the most success out of what you have.
Without a doubt. And I think an interesting angle to kind of tie it in a little bit more to draft talk, because I think that's kind of like where our minds were before this trade happened. Tying it in, do you think this trade should change the Pistons' approach at the draft? Do you think this means that a Keegan Murray looks more and more likely? Do you think this doesn't? Because, I mean, just a few days ago, Troy Weaver said whatever was happening at the draft wasn't affecting the offseason. Is that still true?
I do. I do think it's true. I think Troy knows what he wants to do. He's known where he wants to go, and I don't think moving on from Jerami Grant for a 2-year-old is going to make any difference into that. So eventually, you got to keep getting younger and younger, But eventually, he's going to see this, and me and Jeff have been in the same camp. We've been in that Shaden Sharp, hype arena to swing for the fences, get a guy that you could put there. And I'm still there. It's like we're at the 5 pick. This is, you don't want to draft a position rotational guy at 5. You can go out and you can, there's a lot of those, but you can go out and you can get these guys, these cogs in the wheel, these guys who are, the perfect body type, the 6'8", whatever, stretch the floor. You can get those guys from 11 to 15, where we want to be picking next year and maybe the year after that. So while we're at 5, I think we swing for the fences. We go for Shaden Sharp. Best comes to best. The guy's a superstar talent. He's right next to Cade for the next 15 years. Worst comes to worst, he's a 6'7" guard who has a 45-inch vertical. Like, it's, there's a lot you can do with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, man. Jeff, what about you, man? Do you think this is more and more likely that we're going to be looking at Keegan Murray tomorrow night when we're talking about the draft? Which, by the way, tune in Woodward Sports. We're going to be live for the draft. But anyway, Jeff, go ahead.
I think he was always in play. I don't think trading Jerami Grant changes him. I mean, he's scouting all these guys pretty equally, and he had to assume he was going to trade Jerami at some point. So I don't think it changes much. He's still going to take the best player at 5. I mean, me and Spencer talk about upside, and that's really important to me when you're looking at players. And with Shaden, it's so I'm just obsessed with it. But again, I understand, being realistic, that it is between Benedict, Jaden, or Keegan. So I don't think it matters too much. It's hard to say. Like, they're already pursuing Miles Bridges, they're pursuing DeAndre, and like they're going to try and fill what Jerami Grant did for the Pistons. But I just think it's so great if you think about it. Like, the Pistons are in a position right now with an attractive young core, plenty of money, and you have a franchise player. Like, that's what you want. That's the position you want to be in. So Troy's doing it right, whether you like the trade or not. That's why I can't really grade it. It's incomplete. We don't know what he's going to do on draft night. We don't know what he's going to do in free agency. You don't know, like you said, Sean, and I've been saying this too. I bring up the Pelicans. I sound like a broken record. Look what the Pelicans did with CJ McCollum. That can happen. Like, you don't have to sign guys always. So it gives them flexibility. That's why it was my one word I'd use. And they're in a great spot, man. So I'm cool with it. At 5, I'm probably still – and I'm still in the Sharp camp, but if I'm being realistic, if I had to give a prediction, it's still, to me, Jay Ivey or Benedict. But if Keegan's there and he's taken, it makes sense. I can't really hate on it. I really can't.
Shout out to Paulo in the chat, too. He made a really good point. He said, because, I mean, this has been well documented, Troy's relationship with Jerami. You know what I'm saying? And for Troy to get rid of Jerami for that type of trade, like, I think something big's coming, guys. And the day before the draft, I think that something big is coming tomorrow.
Do you guys remember, especially when he's doing all those deals last year, and everyone was like, "What in the hell is going on?" And it all played out, like even the year prior, the year prior, and you saw it pan out through the draft, getting 2 first-round picks, after Killian. Like I just stay patient, man. Like he clearly has a vision. He's not going to sink us. I mean, everyone overreacts like this is the worst deal in NBA history. Like guys, you get a future first, which I get. They probably won't be selecting in 2025 that first. That will be dealt in somehow, some way, whether it's to acquire another player or simply use the trade up. Who knows? But again, flexibility. You have assets. You have attractive young pieces. You have guys on rookie contracts. You have $56 million possibly. I mean, they'll sign Marvin and Bagley and all those guys, but still, it's a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be real.
I think this like Troy is sus until further notice, or all this stuff where we're just like, saying that Troy doesn't know what he's doing. Listen, man, let's just calm the hell down, man. Listen, dog. We have a very prominent future that has been built from nothing, literally over the course of 2 years. By the way, shout out to all over 200 concurrent viewers that are in here live. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, by the way. But in addition, I just think this is going to be one of those things. I think this is just one of those trades where we're used to being burned from trades in the past.
Right.
So I think we're preemptively wondering how this is going to fuck us over going forward. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like we're bracing for what was the Pistons past, when in reality, the Pistons future is a whole different thing.
And by the way, I just want to say this too, to people saying that if he doesn't sign, let's say he doesn't land DeAndre or Miles, it's a failure. You still have $56 goddamn million in cap space, dipshit. You can go out and trade for somebody, or you can go out next offseason, and the offseason after that, they're not going to make the playoffs. I'm sorry to break it to you guys. They are not. Unless they sign DeAndre and Miles, and then they draft Jaden Ivey. Okay, maybe you contend. But the East is tough. Like, does nobody understand that?
The East is tough. We look at the guys that didn't make it last year. Or barely made it last year, like the Hornets, like the Hawks, Cleveland, who were in the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago. You've got Cleveland, you've got to jump. You've got Toronto, you've got to jump. Let alone we know all the powerhouses. Obviously, we don't know what the fuck is going on with Brooklyn, so what they're going to look like, nobody knows. But then you've got Philly, you've got Milwaukee, you've got Boston, you've got all those guys still up there. And if you really want to contend,
let's just read a short list of all teams in the East that were above the Pistons last year, and let's figure out if you think they'll be above, if you think they'll be better than the Pistons again this year. Does that sound good? Let's play a little game. Miami, I think Miami will be better. Boston, I think they're going to be just fine. Milwaukee, they'll be decent. Philly, I think they'll be up there. Toronto, yep, you bet your ass. Chicago, yeah, I'd go with them too. We're already up to 6, by the way. And then we get to Brooklyn, Atlanta, Cleveland, Charlotte, New York, Washington. That's the thing, man. Like I think we will climb up the standings, and I think we will be on the precipice of at least a play-in game. I think that's possible, but I don't think that means playoffs. I think, like you said, Jeff, we're not making the playoffs this year.
Absolutely and real quick too. You got to take a big step to get to that play-in game before you can make the playoffs. Like you said, we're going to be trying to fight to be with New York and Charlotte and around that level of teams. They're still better than us. We have 2 of our core. We have Cade and we have Sadiq that we know. Obviously, who we bring in at 5. If we sign a guy this year, that'll add to it. And Killian's a nice player. I like Killian. He's coming off the bench. He's a good role player. I'm out on beef stew. I'm done with that. I'm sorry if Pistons Twitter crucifies me for that, but 6'7" center, he's not going to get it done no matter what.
There's value there, man. He might not be a starting center, but there's value there.
There's value.
He's your third string center if you're a championship team.
He's PJ Tucker.
Is he a center? If he gets, he could play multiple positions if he just knocks down a shot. Honestly,
that's a
big
move.
Move to the 4. He's undersized.
I mean, look at how switchable he is on defense.
Get out of here,
though.
PJ Tucker is a fantastic shooter.
No. I'm not talking about shooting. I'm talking about a guy who come off the bench and just beat up the star player.
Hold up. I'm sorry. We got to do an annual pause because I got to address somebody in the chat. I feel like Adam right now. Because Aaron S. Why not just let Grant expire or trade him later if you want that cap space 2 seasons from now? That doesn't make sense. Did you just say why not just let Grant you let him.
We got a
expire?
first round pick out of it. Like,
Why not just
He
let
might
him walk
be-
for nothing?
he
And
might be
I
a
love
6-month-old, but we got a pick
And-
out of it.
Well,
Aaron, I love you, and I know you're coming from a good place, but I have to tell you, why in the hell? You think not? Okay, think about this. How many years till Cade hits his prime? Think about that.
2, 3.
3.
Okay, so and you don't want to push it, and you don't want to push it. He's got a couple more years on his rookie contract, but you have more time. Everybody, and I get it. I'm a Pistons fan. I want to win soon. I get it, but there's a process, and I think Troy understands that. Like he's worked with Sam Presti. They know how this goes. So I'm not worried about everything has to happen this offseason. I just don't agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man.
Yeah, and real quick too, like let's not forget that DeAndre Ayton and Miles Bridges are both restricted free agents. Like just because we're clearing cap, I don't think this was a cap clearing move. I think this was like a move we had to make because we're gonna trade Grant regardless. And let's not forget, like we overhyped these trades in the offseason. But during the regular season, the trade deadline last year, we're getting offers. We're seeing rumors for freaking Horton Tucker Jr. You know what I'm saying? Like some boo-boo ass trade offers. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not forget. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very well possible this was the best offer. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
but,
there wasn't anything like a month ago or like a few months ago that you couldn't trade for THT Kendrick Nunn in the first.
Yeah.
That was available. Like I feel like I could have
Right.
gone to GameStop and traded my PS5 and I would have gotten THT Kendrick Nunn in the first. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that'd be so
like
funny.
that was
Just
the
chilling with
walking
Jamaican
deal
crib, like,
everywhere,
Star Wars.
dude.
Oh
Well,
no, Seth, you ain't. I can't let you get away with that one, dog.
Deep diving, man. It's
Bro, you
got
wild,
all
man.
studs out here.
But I think Charlotte's trying to keep Bridges, man. The fact that they're trying to get rid of Hayward's contract, I think, speaks to that in itself.
Yeah,
obviously the rumors about the Suns trying to move to a couple picks and a player to the Pelicans, make space for Ayton. So like, and the other thing too is like both those teams, again, those guys are both restricted free agents. Like they're more than likely going to be in a sign and trade offer. Now that we gave away Grant as an asset, I really don't know that he's going to be there. I think Troy, when you see him when he does these trades, majority of the time, it's never really for like existing players unless it's like an expiring deal or something like that. Troy makes his moves in the draft. This trade was a day before the draft. I think we're going to take on. I really truly believe, and I'm just concluding to this now that something's popping off tomorrow. We're either moving to the top 3 or grabbing extra assets from the Hornets to take on that contract with Gordon Hayward.
I would say there's a high possibility that there's something that's done in the draft. But I also would say that if nothing's done in the draft, that this deal is for nothing at that point. Like I would say, I would say that there's still like, even if like Phoenix doesn't get that like sign and trade that they want, like quote unquote, like what Detroit, they are still going to be in the position to put in an offer sheet that's going to make Phoenix worried. You know what I mean? Like they might have they might have the restricted free agent. They might have like ownership of them in certain respects, but there's not everything that they can control. Once they put that offer sheet on the table, Phoenix is going to have to match it.
But the thing is, they could slap on that extra year where he would technically get paid more with those bird rights, and then that's a valuable asset to another team that may be contending for him.
Right.
Right.
Which they could. There are other teams out there. Atlanta's one that might want to move some pieces and improve and get better. But I would also say that it's going to depend on what other teams are going to want to give up in that sense too. Because I mean that's the thing. Other teams would have to tango as well to make that sign and trade happen.
And can I bring up a really nice comment because I agree with this comment? Vasilis, so what's the plan with vet presence in the locker room? Because Troy said this himself, like he doesn't want a team full of young guys. So you could assume at least in free agency they're going to go out and get guys like you mentioned Gordon Hayward. Okay, I'm saying
2023.
With Gordon Hayward, but now that deal's off the table because Jerami Grant's being traded. Maybe I don't want Gordon Hayward unless it was for Jeremy and you get more assets. But with Gordon, for example, at least you'd be bringing back a veteran. I'm interested to see what they do in free agency. I'm gonna be honest with you because even if you get DeAndre Ayton, you have to go out and at least get another guy. Like you have to get some guys. And someone brought up, I can't remember. I think it was I can't remember their Twitter name off the top of my head, but they brought up Taurean Prince, like guys like that. Like just get some veteran wings, man. Like that's really what they need.
Just some bodies in there, some guys that know how to play, some guys that have been in the playoffs before. Yeah, and that's we talked about that on Spaces. Like, is this the year where we're just signing 1-year deals. We're just signing these Malik Monks. We're signing guys like that to 1-year deals, letting them get off the books, and then really trying to be a contender in the free agent market next year, where there's going to be some bigger names out there, and it's going to be some people that are actually hot price commodities, and we can bring that 5 pick in. We can make him, get involved with the team, have him in the rotation, and then we have these guys on 1-year deals. We don't got to worry about. They're just in there to fill space, be bodies, and then we'll move on from there.
I got it. I know what is going on, and I could totally be wrong, and I don't care. I'll die right now.
Oh,
What is it?
no. Don't
Jesus
say
Christ.
this.
It is the Gordon Hayward trade. It's 100% the Gordon Hayward trade because we understand the sign trade deal for Jerami Grant. We don't know if not Jerami Grant. I apologize for DeAndre Ayton. We can't confirm or we don't know if we're getting him for sure. So what's going to happen is we get that extra pick, maybe 2, hopefully 2, but more than likely at least one extra pick from Charlotte. And you look at mock drafts, who's right around that we need a 7-footer at that point. Mark Williams is right around that 11, 12, 13 spot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe we just grab him in the draft. But hey, I'm just saying. If
Okay,
we're not
hold on.
getting
I respect
a
it.
7-footer. We're gonna take on the contract, get the extra draft capital. I'm just
Oh
saying.
no, and I respect it. Let me just clarify what you're saying, because I want to make sure before I start the official disagreement, I guess, in this courthouse. Did you just say you would trade now for go get Gordon Hayward and get some assets? You're talking about just go get Gordon, or what were you saying? I'm sorry, I kind of got lost in there.
Well, no, because they're looking to off Gordon's contract because
Yes,
in my mind they want to re-up Miles Bridges.
yes,
But along with that, it's kind of like the Jared Goff situation. We want to give you Goff, but you're gonna have to give me 2 first-round picks to take Goff because dude's trash. All right, Gordon Hayward, you know what I'm saying? Same type of deal. We got 2 first-round picks, and we got to get rid of this contract. Maybe we'll give them both away for a 2025 first-rounder and Kelly O. You know what I'm saying? Make that swap. They clear books for the cap space of some Bridges. We get first-round picks, mid-round picks. We get our 7-footer Mark Williams. And my guy,
listen, I like Mark Williams a lot. He's my favorite. And I said this. People asked me about Jalen Duren. Remember, I talked about that show. I'm like, I kind of like Mark Williams, but I want to address that Gordon Hayward point. Gordon Hayward makes $30 million, and you get 2 more seasons of that. So my problem is it ties up 30 for 2 off seasons, and you don't know what you're getting out of Gordon.
But Jeff, ask yourself this real quick: how long till the Pistons are truly competing in the East?
Bro,
probably those 2 seasons, right?
No, it's not always about competing. I want to be in the playoffs. Contending, I can see down the line, but in the playoffs, it should be in the next 2-3 years. You know what I mean? Contending maybe 4 or 5.
Timeline. You know what I'm saying? We had that Gordon Hayward contract for those next 2 years. And let's not let's not play.
So you're going to want to sign.
Threes.
No, I get you, but then you'd be in a position to now the year you're supposed to win the playoffs, you're spending that off season. You know what I mean? I'd rather acquire those guys as you're building. You know what I mean? You want to go into the offseason and say, let's go. Let's make the playoffs.
We still have cap space though. You know what I'm saying? We still have cap.
You have $56 million right now before signing anybody. So if you sign Marvin, you're going to have probably Gordon Hayward's contract left. So you'd go out and trade for Gordon Hayward. Bippity bop. There goes your cap space. You know, you got
bippity bop. There you go. Yeah.
Bobbity boopy, huh?
Bobbity boopy.
Can I say something?
And let's be right. I don't know. Let's be honest. Is Bagley really about to get the bag? You think?
No, not the bag. Not the bag. I would say 10 to 13. I don't know, but that's what I would pay him.
Too. If Troy is what we think he is in terms of as a talent evaluator in the draft, you're giving him these 2 first-round picks to play with from Charlotte. One being Mark Williams, a guy those guys on rookie deals as well. You know what I'm saying? And who knows? Maybe we off Gordon Hayward at some point too. But it fits that timeline of we're not competing until 2 or 3 years. We can sit on a Gordon Hayward for 2 years. You know what I'm saying?
People that are saying trade Kelly, if Kelly's in that deal and you clear up his cap space, I'm looking at the camera. I would rather pay Gordon Hayward Kelly Olynyk's salary partially because I don't like Kelly Olynyk, and I'm sorry, that's nothing personal. The guy's a great guy, but he. No, but that I would be fine with that. All right, I just wanted to clarify. Just simply going out and getting Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Bravo.
If Kelly is 12, that's 12 off of that 30.
Right, and now we're making the sugar. Now we're making the cakes. You were getting there, but before that, I'm like,
order in the court. Order in the court. Order in the court.
He's stirring it up.
Oh, my boy Bravo said, "Can I say something?" My boy Bravo gets to say something.
to the comment about Easy's point, I really like these trades, these ideas, but you gotta talk about what happened so far in Troy Weaver's history of trades. I mean, please look. Bruce Brown gave him for nothing, bunch of cookies. Sekou Doumbouya gave him away right away, no problem. Let's forget about him. Blake Griffin, nothing. D Rose, nothing. And this is Jerami Grant for a 2025 first round pick. I like that. That's okay. But again, if I was the other NBA GMs, can you just do better with this trade? So that's what kind of frustrates me. And you're talking about all these trades, all these scenarios. Do you believe Troy Weaver is ever gonna get us a big trade? I don't know, man.
Okay, but
Bruce Brown ain't nice like that, and he got fair value for D Rose. Let's not. I'm not trashing him for those.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold it against him.
What were you getting for Blake? Because first of all, we didn't trade him; we bought him out.
He hasn't.
Luke Kennard.
Yeah,
Luke Kennard, another one.
Well, here's the other thing too. Did we not end up getting Sadiq Bey in that Bruce Brown deal at the end of it? Didn't we end up with Bruce Brown at the end of it all?
Yep.
Yeah, maybe. But the point is,
maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. Maybe.
It should change, Bravo. You still saying?
That's what I want to do. I want to see better trades from Troy Weaver. This is not something that interests me as a fan, and I want to see better trades. I believe Jerami Grant's value could have been better if we trade him in a better time, maybe. But
again, Bravo, I think we saw that this was the best value that they got, though. So reports are telling us it's not true.
And I want to say this too.
Or Horton Tucker, bro.
You're also waiting. Like Troy made the deal today, and I get people that say wait till the draft, but you don't understand. Like the closer you wait, his value is the best before the draft because you have teams before they even go into the draft. That's just how it works. Like post draft, and you get in the season, his value decreases. If you wait, you risk not having a deal before the draft. Now Troy's in a tight spot because then you have to trade Jerami for something. Like if this would have to be, he felt like this was the best offer, and I'm good with that. I trust the man to make those decisions, but you got to think from his perspective. Like he had this offer on the table, he took it, but if he waited till tomorrow, you're risking. Like he is risking the biscuit. Like you got to get a deal done.
And I really can't blame Troy Weaver for the trades he made early in his tenure with the Pistons because he was shoveling the dead corpses that Stan Van Gundy had aligned before him, so it's not really his fault. He was clearing house. He was getting rid of these guys. Nobody wanted these guys. Yeah. Nobody was paying a high price for Bruce Brown. Nobody was paying a high price for Blake Griffin, who hadn't dunked in 2 years. Like he got what he could. He bought out Blake Griffin. He turned it into a good player in the Sadiq Bey. So I don't really blame him for that. And if we had a legitimate tradable asset that people wanted, I would expect a good return. But even that's what we thought Jerami Grant is. Odds are it's not what he is. Like I said, we overvalued him. He was supposed to be that number 2, number 1 guy. The whole NBA knew he was a 3. He was a 4. He was a 3 and D guy. Right. And you're not going to get much for a 3 and D guy getting paid $25-30 million a year.
Let's be real about Bruce Brown. Like he's not nice like that. He's a good like piece to something. You know what I'm saying? He's really aggressive on defense and like a energizer guy. But like Bruce Brown, like he got. Bruce Brown's really not nice like that. Derrick Rose, as much as like he was great at one point in his career, he got fair value for him too. Like I'm not.
But dude, you could do a better trade, and I want to see something that really make my eye flashes. I haven't seen that.
Bay.
But I just think the reason why you haven't seen that yet, though, is just because I think, in fairness, like, what were we trading in return? I mean, like, what were we giving teams in return? Because that's the thing. It's like if you're saying that like we're like losing all these trades, that would be fair if you turn around and you look at, oh well, then we saw Bruce Brown give this amazing contribution to Brooklyn.
Exactly.
He was good for them.
Oh man, those 6-foot post hooks, we can't get that anywhere else.
Per game, dude.
Yeah. Like he was solid, but he looked so good in comparison because he really wasn't nothing to a lot like compare. Man, Pistons legend Joe Johnson right there. My gosh. But anyway,
it's Glenn Robinson, bro.
Oh, Glenn Robinson. My gosh.
Remember when Miami was winning championships with like Joel Anthony, Mike Miller, and like all these bums? Like that's the type of situation that Brooklyn had right now. You know what I'm saying? Bruce Brown was seeing like open shots like that. He's playing alongside Kevin Durant, freaking Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. You know what I'm saying? Like I promise you, Bruce Brown looked a lot better than he is.
What are you talking about, bro? Mr. Basketball Country Day, Shane Battier, dude.
But I think also though, like again, like just to kind of like just like
I like Bruce, man.
But just kind of like close that point a little bit more. It's like you get all these guys, and it's like Bruce. I mean, again, you maybe could have gotten a little more value, but in hindsight, it ended up turning into getting what we have now, right? Which is Sadiq Bey. Obviously, people were upset about the Christian Wood trade. He just got traded for not much more than what we ended up trading for him. And in addition, I mean, it ended up in us getting Isaiah Stewart. So, it's like one of those things where, like, yeah, you can look at his trades. You can maybe say like that's maybe like the weakest aspect of Troy's job right now. But again, I just also don't think we haven't really been able to see a truly like big trade yet. Because I mean, like this might be the biggest trade he's done, but in grand scheme of things, this is a small trade in the NBA.
And real quick too, one last point too on that. The pieces that he's getting are young pieces. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be some time before you see those guys pan out to what they're going to be. You know what I'm saying? Sadiq Bey, Beef Stew, like those are young guys. Like they've only been in the league 2 years, and one of them was a COVID year. So give those guys some time too to pan out to their final product as well.
And I think people look at trades too, and I get trades are exciting, but it's really about the draft, and it's really the offseason. Like those are the two. Like if you look at Golden State and Boston in the finals, both those teams were drafting guys, and then they would go and trade it for a Derek White, or they'd go and trade for an Andrew Wiggins. Like that, you make moves at certain points. Like we're not on a timeline right now to go get a Marquee, a CJ McCollum, whatever. I keep using him as an example. Really, anybody. There's going to be a time for that, and I could see your point in a couple years from now, if there's no moves being made, I could see why you're frustrated. But right now, it's just too early to like predict Troy's going to go out and just bam, 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 get these guys from everywhere. It's going to happen through draft, building it, and then off season as well. So we'll wait.
You're lucky I don't have any ugly ass pictures of you on my computer. But...
Dude, where was that picture taken? I need some context behind
that.
That
was and we were making fun.
I'm joking.
That was that was in the room across from yours, Jeff, the computer room at the studio.
Dude, you're looking low-key cute, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Man, I'm trying to do what I can do. Easy told me to send a pic to his girl, so I fucked around and did it.
That's not the pic.
I had Spins hit me with catfish the girl.
Yeah,
Spinning, bro. I need this girl to think I'm right.
He said I got to be white real quick.
Oh my God, y'all are wild.
But bravo. Do you see where I'm coming from there?
Yeah, got your point. Well, let's hope that we can only hope, but I want to see more in the future. I'm waiting on you know what I mean. I hope.
Yeah, no, I get.
We just jumped, bro.
So
we just jumped Bravo's ass.
Good trade. Don't shut the fuck up, Bravo.
I don't know. Let's hope. Let's hope. Well, who do you think if we stay at 5, assuming that it is as it is? Who do we think we draft tomorrow?
I mean, I think we're still at the mercy of what the Kings do at 4. I still think
easy. Well, before you like, he's doing if someone says Jaden Ivey, his head is about to explode. By the way, Sean, go ahead.
All right, I was about to say I hope it's Jaden Ivey because I want it to be Jaden Ivey at 5. If the Kings, my gut since the lottery, and Jeff, you could attest this. Literally since the lottery, my first thought was, well, shouldn't the Kings draft Keegan Murray? And everything I read out of Sacramento is about Keegan Murray. You know what I mean?
Kings are going to be the Kings.
So to me, I see, I've just seen too much smoke about Keegan Murray at 4 and too much potential. And if there's any team that could do it, it's the Kings. So I hope we're walking out with Jaden Ivey. However, there is a strong chance we're ending up with Keegan Murray tomorrow night. And Benedict Mathurin is a name that's rising prominently right now in NBA circles. So
let's not pretend like Woj ain't the guy in NBA circles, and he just had Benedict Mathurin as his pick to the Pistons at 5.
He did a mock draft. I mean, it's a mock draft. It doesn't mean it's going to happen.
But it's Adrian Wojnarowski. It's you know what I'm saying, like
but it doesn't mean it's going to happen.
For sure.
It doesn't mean it's going to happen.
I tried to put Thon Maker up behind me, but I think I used too many pictures. I don't think I could put any more in.
You couldn't make her happen.
I'm gonna delete Steve Blake and maybe I can get Thon in there.
Hey, the poll is up right now. I just asked the chat, who do you think is going at 5? And so far it's 83% Ivy, but we'll see where it goes.
Bro.
It's
and highlight watchers, man.
I want to see Easy cry because I want him to trade up and still get Ivy.
Hey,
bro, if they traded up for Ivy, I might after this week. You guys know I had a long week. I'm gonna shoot myself.
Whoa.
Hold on.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay.
Easy.
And then run out the woodwork. Right in traffic.
I gotta ask you a question though, real quick. If imagine this scenario, not saying it's gonna happen, but if they take Jaden Ivey and he just balls out, like, and he looks great
Listen.
next to Cade. What are you gonna? I need an apology video. I need a written statement. I need everything, man.
No,
I need you on your hands and knees in front of the LCA.
Hey
Crying
yo,
pause.
hey yo,
Crying for Jaden
yo,
Ivey.
pause.
Who balls out right now that people are super judgmental of and shit on all the time? The average triple double and win MVP.
Dude, no.
He's
No,
not
don't-
Russell
don't-
Westbrook, bro.
Don't pretend like there's not shades of his game. Don't pretend like people aren't saying this shit.
Yeah, but the difference is that
Like, he's
Jaden
good
Ivey
at-
actually has a jump shot, and that's the reason why that argument doesn't work. Because
Weird,
the whole thing about Russ is
because him
he's
and
a
Russ
jump
shot
shot.
the same percentage in college. I'm just saying.
In college, who gives a flipping? I don't.
I mean,
give a
that's
damn
where you're judging
what
the guys
Russell
off of, Sean.
Westbrook
That's-
shot in college.
But
I
you
know
care
for a
what Jaden
fact,
Ivey
first
shot
of
in
all-
college? Like, you're gonna bring that up? Like that? Come on,
Dude.
bro.
Dude, I love you, but this Jaden Ivey stuff, I really don't
Look,
understand why.
Listen,
have a-
hold
they don't
on,
have
real
a-
quick. Let me just say this. Can I say this real quick?
Yeah,
Let's
go
hear
ahead.
it.
Fuck Bad Boy as a staff. I reckon with a motherfucking crew. All right. And if you want to be down with Bad Boy, then fuck you too. Okay. All right. Geno XL, fuck you too. All y'all motherfuckers. Now I'm playing real fuck. He
just came off the
he's
dome,
gonna
bro.
be like,
He's got that.
he's
Boost
gonna be
Mobile
special in
connection.
terms of like. What do you say? Am I freezing up?
Got that boost mobile. Oh man, I'm dead.
Who-
No,
who's
you're
on
good. You're
Boost
good.
Mobile?
now.
Me?
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, you're good.
Jaden
Also-
Ivey will be nice in terms of like, dude, like we see it all the time. Guys can be exciting to watch. It doesn't necessarily equate to winning basketball.
Jaden Ivey's percentage in
But-
college was actually 4% higher on double the attempts, but that's okay.
Career.
Oh, you want to go career? We can go career if you want.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'd
Let's
career-
go
like to do.
career.
And this is the problem I have with your take. I don't have a problem with anybody critiquing Jaden Ivey. That everybody has their own criticisms. I would also say that Ben Matherin's the best fit. So I agree with you there. The upside, number one, but number two, you have to look at Jaden Ivey and also with people, talking about just saying he simply can't win or that's not winning basketball. Like, what do you mean by that?
not,
Like,
though.
what is
What do
not
you
winning
mean by
basketball?
that?
Because no.
All right.
What
So
do you mean by that?
can I let me break it down for you.
What do you mean?
What
by
is
it?
not winning
What do
basketball?
you mean by that? All right, let me break it down for you. So 6'4" players, 6'4" and under
No.
on championship teams. No. You want me to explain it to you? I'm explaining it to you.
All right,
Let's go down the list.
All right, let's go.
All right. For as number 1 and 2 options, the list gets very thin there. You're looking at Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry. What are two things that Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry do that Jaden Ivey can't do right now? Shoot the shit out of the ball from 3 efficiently. All right.
Those are two
on top of
the
that,
top. Okay, go on.
yes, exactly. If you want, if this is the NBA, guys.
No, but
If you want,
yes,
like
yes.
it's a big man's game. If that weren't the case, we'd be seeing 5-6 point guards out there. You know what I'm saying? Like at 6'4", you need to
Easy.
be
Who
at
just
least
won Finals MVP.
Steph Curry, and
Ooh.
he's elite.
That's
What I'm telling you right now.
Steph Curry.
Are
Well, I'm
you
not
trying to compare
comparing him
Jaden Ivey to Steph
Curry, but
Curry?
I'm saying it's a league of big men, but a guard just won the Finals MVP. So
Because
like,
he's elite at shooting the 3 ball, Sean. Is Jaden Ivey elite at shooting the 3 ball?
well, it's just this notion that no one under
Answer the
the
question.
height
Is
of
Jaden Ivey
6'4"
elite
can
at
win a
shooting the 3
title.
ball?
That's not the argument I'm making.
Okay.
You know that's not the argument I'm
No,
making.
that's
I'm
not
not
the
calling him
argument.
Well, that's
Steph
the
Curry
argument
as
that
a
I'm
dunk
making.
shooter.
If you want to be 6'4" and under, you got to be elite from 3 and D. All right, because the list goes on. If we're even going on to the third options, you're looking at guys like Drew Holiday, a hell of a lot more aggressive and better on defense than what Jaden Ivey is as a prospect. Now, I'm not saying he can't get better. That's the
Are
one
you
spot that I have high hopes that he can get better
are
at,
you saying
because
are
he
you
is
saying
athletic.
that Jaden Ivey
I'm not
now,
done saying anything because you're interrupting me. That's all I'm saying.
well, it's because
That's
you're
the
saying
one
Drew
area that I
Holiday
think he
now
can-
is better than Jaden Ivey now. Mind blown.
Like, look at this.
Hey,
shit. You don't even let me finish. You say some dumb shit like that. I said right now on defense, who's better, Drew Holiday or Jaden Ivey?
what
You
do
would say Drew Holiday.
As a
Drew Holiday has a
28-year-old
better
NBA
because
player who's had
that's the
years in the
one
league,
area-
all for NBA team, is better than Jaden Ivey, who's going to be drafted 24 hours from now. I agree with you on that.
Okay, cool.
I agree with you that a
Drew
player
Holiday-
who's been in the league for years is better than
Sean.
Jaden Ivey now at defense. I agree with
and
that.
Guess what? Defense and shooting a 3 ball are questions on Jaden Ivey's scouting report. Like the way you
Dude.
emphasize the shit doesn't make it any less true. Those are 2 questions on his scouting report. Those are areas of improvement.
Hey,
now, defense is where I can see him improving because he is extremely athletic. And you know what I'm saying? That should be able to get done if he gets a good coach and is passionate about it.
Hey,
but real talk, at 6'4" and under, you got to be elite at 3 or on D. Look at the championship team. And that's what I mean by championship, like winning basketball.
Yeah. Okay, well, what about John Morant? Like, is he elite from 3?
How many rings John Morant got?
Dude, he's been in the – okay, hold on. No, I got a lot to address. I can't get to that one.
Okay, but you
are you telling me you wouldn't want John Morant next to Cade Cunningham? You wouldn't want a player like John Morant next to Cade Cunningham? You don't think that would be a success?
I would not.
Wow, that's tough. That's a tough one. But
it's tough. It is tough, guys.
You
but
know
listen,
it's tough.
let's stop pretending like just because guys are really good individually, they work together. We just saw Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving blow the shit and fucking against the Boston Celtics. They should have beat the shit out of them. We see it with Carmelo Anthony in New York. Like super teams don't fucking always work.
I don't know if they should have beat the shit out of them. First of all, they were kind of a shit team after Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Boston had a real deep team, and they were the hottest team going into the playoffs. Carmelo Anthony in New York, that was not a super team. That was not a super team. Joakim Noah does not exist in a super team. So that is out of here with that. You said Carmelo Anthony in New York? That team he was on? That team with Tyson Chandler? The team with Steve Novak? Yeah, Amari Stoudemire when he's like 40 years old. That was not a super team, man. Do you hear what you're listing right now? You're saying a super team consists of Carmelo Anthony, J.R. Smith, and Amari Stoudemire? That is not a super team, man.
They were hot. The list goes on, though. The list goes on, though. Russ and Harden.
No.
Like
it's different,
guys.
Man.
No,
Cade's
and those
different.
guys are ball. Easy.
LeBron.
Easy. You're talking about a scouting report. You know what else is on that scouting report? If you look really closely, it says can play off ball. Do you see that one?
Yeah. I brought up 3 and D.
Yeah, but he's not a 3 and D. That's not his bill.
I know, but I'm saying exactly. And that's to say, if you want to be 6'4" and you want to win championships in the NBA, you have to be elite at shooting the 3 ball or playing defense, Jeff. Look championship teams. Right now, grab a 6'4" guy of a championship team. That's a second 1 or 2 option.
Okay, no,
you'll see they're elite at either shooting the 3-pointer or playing defense.
Right. But you're assuming this is the problem. This is the problem. You're assuming 2 things. One, that Jay Ivey can't be a good shooter. Like you saw the improvement, and I get there's concerns, but you're just simply writing him off. There is no chance Jay Ivey can improve his jumper. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying there's no chance he can improve his jumper. I'm saying his jumper it's inconsistent. And I think those inconsistencies are going to follow him into the league.
So do you think there's faith in a player like Jay Ivey, who got so much better from his freshman to sophomore year, who had that work ethic? Do you think he'll continue that and and improve on his 3-point shooting? Do you think so? Yes or no?
I think.
What do you think?
Because I'm trying to. We're getting 8 in this.
He's an inconsistent shooter, man. And I think the context behind that. This is the context behind like me worrying about his improvement. Because again, I'm telling you guys, this kid, Jaden Ivey will be electric. He will be on Twitter. You'll see all kinds of highlights of him going crazy. He is super like supremely talented. But his mother is an elite level coach. She coached in the NBA as a female, which is like a feat. That's like all due credit and respect to her. Like that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Also head coach of the Notre Dame basketball program, women's basketball program, also a former champion. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't think that she's been like trying to teach him to go to his left his whole entire life? You don't think she's been like working on his shot his whole entire life? Like I think he's so supremely athletic that like he's almost stubborn to like, you know what I'm saying? Like focus on these things because he knows he can just take you to the rim and shit on you.
That's true. That's what he's really good at. But again, like with a guy, I just don't think I don't look at any of these guys as finished products. Like they aren't. Like Jaden Ivey, I see you see parts of his game that you really like. That's what I look at when I see Jaden Ivey. And I get there's things you may be concerned about, but I feel like you can go through the list like Keegan Murray. If Cade's off the floor and I got Keegan in the game, I'm worried. Like he can't create his own shot, number one, and he ain't making others better. So if that's your guy.
That's not my guy. Ben Mathurin's my guy.
We saw the efficiency level go down, the offensive efficiency go down as soon as Cade Cunningham came off the court. Who are we going to have running that offense next year? Corey Joseph? Is it
Killian
Killian
Hayes?
Hayes? Is that
Killian
who
Hayes.
we're going to rely to run the offense? Like, we need somebody that can be on the court running the ball, and whether that's Jaden Ivey, whether that's Shaden Sharp, like I'm okay with those guys. I'm
Well,
okay.
and the other
Give me
thing,
one
too,
of those guys.
The other thing too, and it's just got to be said, you can't have enough guys who can put the ball in the basket. You know what I mean? You can't have enough guys who can score the basketball and create shots for himself and others on the team. And that's what you need, because you look at the Dallas Mavericks, what really stopped them in their tracks in that Golden State series? Obviously, they weren't the second best team in that Western Conference. However, clearly the biggest gap that's holding them back right now is that if Luka isn't cooking, nothing is cooking. And that's the thing that was wrong. It was overly reliant. And they had Jalen Brunson there, who, you know, as we recall, is someone I really wanted to bring into the team earlier. So listen, man, it's just the reason why Jaden Ivey works in this system is because you can never have enough creators and enough people who could take the pressure off of Cade Cunningham. That's just objectively a good basketball thing to have.
But
you think that's not the case with LeBron James and Russell Westbrook?
And listen, I was just going to get there before you even said that. And I said, this isn't the Lakers, because the Lakers have Russell Westbrook, who in his entirety career has been a ball hog. He has never left that mindset. Jaden Ivey and Cade are both, Cade's 1 year into the league. Jaden's a rookie.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are going to learn to play together. Don't forget, OKC, they made the finals with who? James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Wow.
And Kevin Durant. Yeah.
But I'm saying, you're talking about multiple ball handlers. They can play together and when one's off the court. So if you look at the Pistons, I don't want Cade to have a majority of the offensive load. I don't. Like, I want another guy in the game that he can take a rest. He can get better. He can put more energy towards defense. Like, he doesn't always have to be like Luka this year. You saw how tired he was. Like, don't even lie. You saw that. So I don't want Cade to run through that same issue. He's basically Jaden Ivey, but you upgraded him like a couple inches and made him more athletic. Like, and he's like. So I don't agree with that take, man. I really don't, but I see why you have concerns.
I'm just saying you can't go through a championship roster and pick out a Jaden Ivey-esque player. You truly
but you
can't.
Also can't. But what else has in common though? Superstars, right? So these guys are
we have that in Cade Cunningham. And then let's not forget that Troy isn't done doing his thing either. And then real quick too, like I actually forgot the other fucking point I was gonna make. God damn.
No, keep going. You were hot. You were hot, man.
No, but I'm just saying, like you. Oh, all right. Let me give you some more like two ball handlers, right? Two ball handlers. Whoa. Ooh, take pressure off the one. Ooh, this one nice too, huh? Ooh, CJ McCollum, Dame Lillard. Ooh, they nice together, right? Ooh, yeah. Ooh, John Wall, Bradley Beal. Ooh, two ball handlers. Like that's just not. It's not championship basketball, guys. Like size matters in this league. You know what I'm saying, and it more importantly in this era where you're spacing out the floor and knocking down the three. You got to play defense and you got to shoot that three. And I think that stuff, like a guy that I want, Ben Math, he offers that. You know what I'm saying? And same way that you guys think that, you know, Ivy's going to develop. I think Ben Matherin has that same ability. He's supremely athletic. He's bigger, you know what I'm saying, which allows him to guard more positions. And he's clearly a better like 3-point shooter.
And before I got to hop off here, but I want to say one thing.
No, we're about to end it anyway, so it's totally okay.
All right. Because I want to just ask this too. Between, if I'm Troy Weaver, Easy, and you got to think, if you're Troy Weaver, put on your GM hat. Are you drafting for fit or are you drafting for upside?
I am 100% drafting for fit more than upside.
That is absolutely wrong.
It depends what that upside is. It depends what the upside is, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the upside? Like, what do I see? What type of player this kid's
we don't have the team to where we can draft for Sharp yet. We need the best talent available. We need the best guy.
That doesn't work. Like, you literally have LeBron James and Russell Westbrook this year. You have Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant this year. Like, just stacking talent on top of talent doesn't always work, guys. Like, they have to work together in some form of essence. If I'm
on a young team, like we still have this. You're acting like we're ready to contend, like we're ready to build. This piece we're bringing in isn't going to be the piece that gives us a championship.
I'm saying, not him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he's not going to contribute that. You know what I'm saying? Based off like the scouting report, what we have right now, yes, he can get better, but I don't think he's ever going to be Steph Curry at the 3-point line. I don't think he's ever going to be Kyrie Irving at the 3-point line. I don't think he's going to finish to the level that Kyrie Irving does. You know what I'm saying? Like 6'4" and under, guys. Just do it. It's really, really easy. Look at the championship rosters. Look at the guys at 6'4"
Tony
and below.
Parker,
and tell me what they're good at.
How many of those guys played with Cade Cunningham?
Huh? Kyle Lowry definitely better 3-point shooter than
and name if we're naming players that won championships, if Cade wins, what's an example of Cade? Like he's a 6'6" point guard.
LeBron, I'd say LeBron.
Bro,
I mean, obviously LeBron's a lot more extremely more athletic, but like the cerebralness Yeah, I mean, I'm not stop shaking your guys' heads like this has been a comparison made.
No, I don't agree with that. I agree they're both number one picks. You know, I guess the hype and stuff like that. But like in terms of a player,
And dare I
LeBron
say
will
it,
never
Magic
be another.
Johnson, like I mean that's going way back. But like
He
Cade's
might
got
be
that.
unique. He's unique.
He's a 3-level scoring facilitator, bro. He will fit alongside anyone. But if you truly want to win a championship, when he goes down the D and grabs goes down the paint and grabs the attention of the defense, you want him to kick it out to somebody who's going to for sure knock down that 3-point shot.
Okay,
You know
no, I get you. I get that. That's why I honestly don't mind Ben, because I think he has more playmaking upside than Keegan. He's a better shooter, and you get a guy who's 6'6", you can play 2, 3. So I like Ben.
It's also like, look at what the Mavericks did this year. The Mavericks have a three-level scoring facilitator in Luka Doncic. They have a team of shooters surrounded around him, and they did nothing. They got outplayed. Like Sean said, Luka was tired. They didn't have enough guys. And building a team like that around one guy and only having one guy that can guide the orchestra doesn't work as much as you think it does. Like even on the other teams, they had other guys.
Hold on. The argument of that is you just told me this team's not done building. So why if they take Ben Mathurin, they're just all of a sudden done building around him and they're not going to get another star?
No, but
you know what I'm saying?
But we're in the position to draft one right now. We're at 5. Do you think we're going to be?
You're not going to
be a top 5 pick in the next 3 years?
Because you're trying to build now.
Klay Thompson was taking 11. You say he's not his skill set is kind of just as much as Ben Mathurin. Honestly, not even as explosive as an athlete. You know what I'm saying? But
you would take him top 5 because get that guy later.
Piece to have on your team.
Yeah, and we can get him later when we're drafting like 10 to 15, not when we have the number 5 pick. You just said Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson they got later.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna have to cut it right here because we do got to get going. I actually, I will say, if you are looking for more conversation, I am actually about to head over and Woodward Pistons is going to be live in a little bit. So be sure to check that out. If you want to go get some more Pistons content, that is going to be a thing. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. Easy. We got to give love to you, man. Thank you so much for hopping in. Bravo. Sure. Thank you so much for being here, dude. Spencer, thank you so much, bro. Those pictures behind you were making me roll the entire time, but also thanks for bringing your takes too, man. And Jeff, as always, thanks for trying to keep order in my courthouse. It really means a lot.
Dude, I failed.
Yeah, you really did, but that's okay. There was the point where I walked away for a minute. There was this is a great episode, man. But seriously, hey, everyone that tuned in, I will say, I want to say thank you to everyone that tuned in. All the people that are in here right now. If you are tuned in, subscribe down below. We're going to be live every Wednesday for the courthouse. And also be sure to be ready because the courthouse is a place where you can come and debate. So if you want to bring things up to me, to Jeff, to whoever is on the panel, be ready to go and be ready to bring it. With that, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Head over, subscribe from Half Court, subscribe to Woodward Pistons, follow all these guys on Twitter, man. And we will thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Tell her to hit me up.
Catch you next time. And let your mom to hit Spencer up, man. Let your mom to hit Spencer up.
Real quick, one last thing. Everyone who's watching this stream right now, I want you to go look championship teams last 10 years.
All right, man. Y'all have a good night.
Real quick, I remind you.